This is AM 1220, KTLV Midwest City, Oklahoma City.
The following is a paid program. The views and opinions expressed or products endorsed are not necessarily those of KTLV, its staff, or management.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a happy good morning to you, wherever you are. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and today's show is being brought to you by your favorite Allstate agent, Marilyn Hildred. The telephone number is 843-0811. This is going to be a show that you will remember the rest of your life because this is the Clara Luper radio show. Now, our show today is going to be exciting, and be sure and call your friend, tell your friend to listen to the Clara Luper radio show. Sometimes we wonder what's new. Sometimes we wonder what we have that's new. One writer says there's nothing new under the sun. Is that true? I don't know. Well, professionally, I'm a historian, and I'm writing a book, Facts About the Black History Monument and the Black History Wall. And I know you will be standing in line crying to read that book because it will be about you and your people. I've gotten facts that you didn't even know existed. I've gotten them because I'm a professional historian. I go after the facts. And the facts are facts, and you cannot dispute them. Today's show, then, is brought to you by Gates Barbershop, located at 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. Mr. Gates will give you the kind of haircut that you want. If you want a haircut that represents the past, you can get it. The present, you can get it, or the future. All you have to do is to go to 2609 North Martin Luther King, and you will be overcome with the beauty of the barbershop. The beautiful flowers, the beautiful pictures inside, all at Gates Barbershop here in Oklahoma City. Mr. Gamble will not be in the office today. I'm talking about in the barbershop because his family is having a big family reunion at the Clara Hotel, and it's very, very important that he will be there. So don't be disappointed. He will be back in the office as usual next week. Hometown IGA is located at 2001 Northeast 23rd Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And I want you to remember that Hometown IGA in Oklahoma City open 24 hours for your convenience. As we think about school, we think about our children and if they are able to keep up. Maybe they cannot keep up because they can't see. Don't take a chance. Call Dr. A.L. Dial at 934 Northeast 8th Street. The telephone number is 235-0536 here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I shall never forget about the opportunity that Mrs. Gloria Matthews gave me, and that was to speak at the Johnson Shardita's Daycare Center. It was so exciting. Young people of all ages, looking at young people who are becoming computer specialists, who understands education and who knows the songs that young people are supposed to know. All at Johnson Shardina's Daycare, 1643 Northeast 50th Street. Mrs. Gloria Matthews is the owner, and Mr. Paul Matthews. Today I'm telling you this. Let me tell you about my program today. I have some very distinguished ladies here from the Tabernacle Baptist Church, one of the oldest churches in Oklahoma. A church that's older than the state of Oklahoma because they are celebrating 100 years. Can you imagine a church celebrating 100 years? But they are celebrating 100 years, and they will be here to tell you all about it. 100 years at Tabernacle Baptist Church. I'm also going to dedicate this program to someone that I have never done it before. I've never done anything like this before, but I'm sure do it today. I'm dedicating it to my daughter, whose birthday is today. Shelley Luper is 23 years old today. She's in New Orleans, Louisiana. Last night she had the honor to speak at the Urban League's convention, and And this morning I called her and I said, "Happy birthday, Shelley." I'm dedicating my program to her, but I have some good news about Shelley. Shelley will be coming back to Oklahoma City, and we are so excited about it. And she has a job that is out of sight. She told me this morning, she said, "Mom, you've always said, I want you to go places I've never been, and I want you to see things that I've never seen." And say, that's what I'm doing. Today I will have the opportunity to sit down with the president of the Urban League at their national convention. Go, Shelley, go. And I know you want to join me today in congratulating Shelley. And I have also a report I want you to remember that this is little Shelley. Shelley had the opportunity to speak in St. Louis, Missouri. And tickets were only $50 per person, or $500 per table. I didn't get to go. But as I look at Shelley, I was thinking about my taking her to the NACP National Convention when she was a little girl. And when I took her to the convention, Shelley was little. I think this picture was taken when she was about 7 years old. And Shelley was all smiles. In some way, they captured her picture as one of the guests there. And then I thought about Shelley has come from here to a city woman elected to the NAACP National Board of Directors. Well, I'll be talking more about Shelley. I'm also going to tell you today about Tabernacle Baptist Church. Many of you have attended Tabernacle Baptist Church, and many of you have been beneficiaries not only of the worship services that are held there, but you have also been beneficiaries of the opportunities that have been offered by Tabernacle Baptist Church. Sometimes we don't know how far we have come, and people come to me and say, "Miss Luper, I think we're in worse shape than we have ever been. We aren't doing well." I said, "I know you think that because you don't know your history. You see, I'm from Hoffman, Oklahoma. I know what it means to go outdoors to a toilet. I know what it means to draw water. I know what it means to walk miles to get some berries and make a berry pie. And you're going to tell me that? Oh, don't tell me that." But let's take a look at Tabernacle Baptist Church. In 1928, Reverend E.W. Perry, the pastor, wrote these words: "Our goal this year is $15,000, which will pay off our entire indebtedness and carry on the entire program of the church." And that was in 1928. Can you imagine the entire indebtedness of the church? He had 70 clubs in the church. 70. And with the 70 clubs, he told them that they would raise $7,000. And that's $1,000. He had 70 clubs anyway. Well, one thing about it, Reverend E.W. Perry said, "We never feel more like giving up the ship. And when the members neglect the attendance of the public worship, I'd rather you not stay home and send your prayers. You come and let your prayers stay home or let them go. We can use to a greater advantage that we can your sent prayers. The fact is, prayers should not be sent to the church, but to God. With thanks and best wishes for the cooperation you gave to me last year." That's signed by lovingly your shepherd, Reverend Perry. Now, when we think of Tabernacle Baptist Church, now I'm telling you, that church is older than the state of Oklahoma. We think of all of the auxiliaries they had in 1928. Let me kind of give you some of them. They had Home Mission Circus, Starlight Band, Young Ladies Auxiliary, Young Women's Auxiliary, Royal Ambassadors, Sunday School, BYPU, the senior and the junior. They had a Poor Saints Fund, Foreign Mission Fund, a State Mission Fund, XLR, Royal Silver Leaf, Usher Boards, Improvement Club, a Pastor's Aid, a Deaconess Board, and various choirs. But then when I looked at the financial record, I'm telling you, it was quite interesting. For example, they had something that looked like a ticket, but it's a little, I call it a tab. Your weekly offering, Tabernacle Baptist Church, 25 cents. Return his ticket to the church on the first Sunday of each month. Then I have in my hand another one. This was for some of the people that were not as successful as those that were able to pay 25 cents. My weekly offering to the Tabernacle Baptist Church is 15 cents. Return his ticket to the church on the first Sunday to the month. Now, that didn't fit all of the people at Tabernacle, so Reverend Perry had another tab. And this is exciting. My weekly offering, Tabernacle Baptist Church, 10 cents. Return this ticket to the church on the first Sunday in the month. And then when I looked at that year's report, some of the big shots, and these were really some big shots in Tabernacle. For the year, they were kind enough to have given $15. Clara Luper reporting, KTLV in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Now we want to know what has happened lately after 100 years. And you know how Reverend Perry felt about education. He loved education. He said education is it, and educated all of his children too. Darlene and that bunch but not be sitting up there not knowing their multiplication tables or anything. Well, Reverend Perry wouldn't let them eat, and he was so smart. Well, I have in my hand here a picture of a junior choir. And boy, I'm telling you, you ought to see these junior choir members. They were standing on the steps of Tabernacle and they were looking. Oh, you should see them. I'm not gonna call the names, but anyway, Reverend Perry was standing there with his overcoat on, looking handsome as usual. Tabernacle Baptist Church has a long history, a history of survival. And today they are celebrating, and they have been for all of this year, their 100th anniversary. And I have with me today two very distinguished leaders in the church, Alice McCain and Janice Scott. How are you both today?
Very well, Clara. Thank you so much for having us on your show.
It's a delight to be here, Clara. This is Janice, and thank you for having us here. And yes, we are excited about our centennial.
You've come a long ways, haven't you?
We've come a mighty long way over troubled waters, good times and bad times. But we're going to stop, and as the human condition being what it is, that's going to continue. But for a moment, we're going to stop and celebrate where we've been, where we are, and where we hope to be
Well,
in the next
you should have been a lot of places, because as I look through my scrapbook of Tabernacle Baptist Church, I know you have come a long ways. Now, you once upon a time, you on Northeast 3rd Street. Is that correct?
That's correct. And as you know, we had an unfortunate fire in the early 50s, and that place was destroyed, and we built a magnificent emphasis on the ashes of that building. And so that really makes three buildings, because we were once further down on First or Second Street. That was a little bit before my time. And the two places on Third, and now at our beautiful place on 36 and Martin Luther King. So yes, building-wise, we've been very fortunate.
You've been very fortunate. Now, I was noticing those tabs that they were paying, 25 cents and 50 cents. And no, I didn't have any 50 cents tabs. No, that was too expensive. I had 25 cents tabs, 10 cents tabs, and 15 cents tabs. And they were quite interesting, because when you look at them, you would think it was a ticket. But I just want you to pick up one of them, both of you. Now, those are some heavy tabs. But those people supported that church, and they had Reverend Perry, E.W. Perry was a pastor, and G.N. Bourne was a clerk. And they had a financial card of the Tabernacle Baptist Church's weekly offering, and you could punch holes in it when you paid yours, which gave you a sense of really belonging. See now, Alice, you hadn't seen that card before.
No, I hadn't. And Clara, it was very interesting when you were mentioning the roll, the membership roll. I was interested to see my mother-in-law's name, Cleo Graves, on that roll in 1928.
Well, Cleo Graves really contributed to her church in 1928. I'm not going to tell you how much she contributed, but I'm telling you there were some contributors, and how they kept the gas and lights and water and paid the past and all is just one of the miracles. And I'm telling you, when I looked on there, I said, now, I can't understand that. Reverend Perry paid in that church. He paid 5, 6, 7 times as much in the church as all of the members. I want you to look at that figure. Look at that figure, what he paid that year, 1928. Boy, I'm telling you, that's some past. Oh, I don't know.
Indeed, that's like $2 million in today's
I'm
terms.
telling you. But now Tabernacle has grown. Times have changed. 100 years ago, blacks were excluded from the mainstream of American life. Blacks were wrestling with the problem of what they would do in the territory of Oklahoma. But during those dark days of segregation, Tabernacle Baptist Church became a shining star for many of us. Reverend E.W. Perry became a leader that was not only concerned with Tabernacle Baptist Church, but was concerned with all people regardless to their condition. I shall never forget when I first saw him at Langston University. He came out there and he spoke, and what he was saying was just so difficult, but yet so simple. He said, anybody got any sense will stay in school. Anybody got any sense? Now, that's what Reverend E.W. Perry told us, and I shall never forget it. How are you celebrating the centennial?
Well, Clara, this year we have had many activities that have been geared towards the centennial celebration. At the beginning of the year, we started off with a Black Heritage program that featured Ernestine Dillard, the famous soloist. She's a soloist that sang at the bombing memorial.
Oh, yes.
And she gave us a wonderful concert. And every month we have had something to commemorate our centennial celebration. And of course, the highlight will be this coming August the 23rd and August the 25th, under the leadership of our current pastor, Reverend John L. Mashak. We will have a centennial banquet celebration, and it will be at the Cowboy Hall of Fame. And we will be giving awards that evening to some of our members, and we don't want to say who those members are because we want to have a surprise element here. But that celebration, we just want the community to come out and share with us, because this is an opportunity that not many people will have to celebrate 100 years of anything. And we just want them to share that with us.
100 years, and you're going to have a centennial celebration at the Cowboy Hall of Fame. Where is that located?
1700 Northeast 63rd Street. We will be in the largest facility of the Cowboy Hall of Fame, the Sam Noble Center. The doors will open at 6:30. We will begin our program at 7 o'clock, and we hope that by 9:30 at the latest, we will be saying goodbye for the evening. Our tickets are selling at 25 cents per person.
25 cents. Give me Janet Scott.
No,
Excuse me,
no.
Janet Scott has turned the clock back to 1928.
That was just my
Ladies and gentlemen, we've made a big mistake on this program, and I would like to tell you to disregard what Janet Scott has just told. I better ask Alice. Alice, how much are those
The
tickets?
tickets are $25.
$25
Yes,
each.
they are.
They're
We were
25.
thinking about, I'm sorry, we were thinking about those coupons.
Yeah.
Now you wasn't thinking. That wasn't Alice. That was not you thinking. You did. That was Janice.
I was
Janice,
so
well,
in,
you apologize to my audience, Janice.
I do
How
apologize.
dare you?
I apologize to your audience, but we're sitting here looking at the past, and I got the past confused with the future. The tickets are $25, seriously, and we do so sincerely invite our public to come and join with us on that evening. We will have a glorious time. We will have good music and good food and good Christian fellowship. And if you're interested in joining with us,
Oh, they are interested. Anybody can appreciate a church that's been in business for 100 years. I'm going to say just like Reverend E.W. Perry. They don't know too much. I'll be back with Janice and Alice in just a minute. In the meantime, this program is being made possible by Passion Home and Health Care, located at 3838 Northwest 36th Street here in Oklahoma City. If you cannot take care of your senior citizens or someone that's ill, if you need some professional people, somebody that know exactly what they are doing, be sure and call 943 5779. We have a new car wash on the east side of Oklahoma City, and I'm going to be telling you all about it because Raymond is listening, and Raymond got to know how happy we are and how excited because we do have a new car wash on North Martin Luther King Avenue. And I will be telling you that you don't have to get out and wash your car. You don't have to worry. I will be telling you all about it. In the meantime, once again, Shelley's coming home, and I'm going to be telling you all about it. Good luck to all of you college kids that are getting ready to take off for college. You go to college, boy, boy, boy. Look what we're going to have in a few years. Janice, you told me that I could get a ticket now for how much?
$25.
$25. Now, where can I get a ticket?
You can get them from me. My name is out in my name and number is out in the public, and if it's all right with you, I will give that number.
But give it to the people out there
Yes,
in
it
radio
is
land. 'Cause there's some people from
427.
Wewoka, Oklahoma that want to come up here to that celebration.
Oh, that's marvelous. Area code 405-427-9506. If I'm not right there to answer the phone, I have an answering machine. Just tell me how many tickets you want and when you want them. Give me an address, give me a telephone number, and I'll get back with you.
Janice has told you she will get back with you. I'll be back with Alice in just a minute. In the meantime, I asked the superintendent of schools in Oklahoma City to be my guest today. Oh, naturally, he had to go out of town, told me to get the deputy superintendent more. And I was waiting on more. And do you know, on Friday evening at 5 o'clock, I received a call from the deputy superintendent's office saying that he could not come. And they wanted to set the date they could come on my show. I said, now listen, I'm confused because I am not as educated as a lot of people. I don't have all of those degrees. I'm from Hoffman, Oklahoma. But I can't understand why in the world all of these schools aren't air conditioned. I can't understand it because I remember the words, we are going to air condition the schools and we'll have them ready. Now, I know one school is going to be out of sight when school starts, and that's Nichols Hills Elementary School. I want you to go out there, and then you come talking to me about segregated schools. I want you to go out there. But let me tell you what I can't understand. We had a principal in the Oklahoma City school system that went to Classen School when they were having problems and straightened it out and did a good job. Then that principal was promoted to Northeast High School, where she did a good job and was voted not by the people in Oklahoma, but nationally as a top principal in the United States of America. And I was just so happy because I knew that she was there doing a job. And she did a job so well until the next year they sent her out to Star Spencer. And when she got out to Star Spencer, she did a professional job and did that job well. Well, then they had a new idea. And I remember the idea of the Felix schools and all that kind of stuff. And I said, but this is going to be something. So they sent her down to the Performing Arts School, and she did a good job. And then I picked up the newspaper, and they stated the superintendent had created a new job, a new office for Joyce Henderson. I couldn't understand it. If the purpose of school is to train students, and you got a principal that can train students, and why in the hello would you take that principal and put that principal into community relations? This community is upset. This community knows that that Joyce has done a good job everywhere, and now she would be away from the children. What do you think, Ed?
Mom, I don't even have to worry about that because I know that wherever Joyce goes, she's going to
But
do
she's
a
supposed to be
fantastic
working with
job.
the community,
She
and the
will be-
children are the ones that need Joyce.
Well, that may be true. and
That's
we
not
don't-
maybe true. That's true.
That is true, then the way you look at it. But what the school superintendent is trying to do is improve the relationship between the community and the schools. And somehow
Well, he
he
better
had
get
to
up out off of his $100,000 salary and get out of here with the community.
Well, that's what he's trying to do.
But I wanna
you know,
get him on
Joyce,
this show. I
Joyce
can
is the
hardly
type
wait.
person that can get along
I
well with
know
all
it.
people.
I'm happy for
you know.
Joyce. She would get an additional in pay, but I'm sad for the children in Oklahoma City.
Well, you
I
have it.
know what Joyce
You know,
has
Mom,
done
you
for
called
the
me in here
children.
so quick that I forgot to say good morning to you and a good morning to one of my favorite teachers, Mrs. Scott and Mrs. McCann. Here, I'm looking
Oh,
forward
she's
to.
your favorite teacher.
She's one of my
you
favorite
didn't tell me
teachers.
that when you were in school.
Well, I didn't have a class that much. I was trying to pass a class. That was my big problem.
Oh, I see, I see, I see.
But then, you know, over the years, even during high school, thank you so much, Mrs. Scott, for the work that you did as a school teacher, as a dedicated and a motivated teacher. And if we had more teachers like you in today's system, I'm certain that we wouldn't have as many problems in the school system as we have. And that's from the heart.
Thank you
Outright.
so much. You have really honored me with that statement.
Well, it's the absolute truth. And,
And
I
I
want
do.
another one of your class, one of your students is in town, Willie Johnson. I know he's listening, and he's here from California. We were just talking about you. And we at every reunion. I know each Douglas reunion, you know, always get your flowers while you're living because we appreciate your work and your dedication that the teachers that taught at Douglas High School. That dedication and motivation goes on, and we appreciate it. So now back to what Joyce Henderson is doing.
No, I said that
Joyce
I
is
didn't
doing
like
there
it. Joyce is the type of person that will follow instructions and she would do her best. But I'm just complaining on behalf of the parents like
well,
me, because if it had not been for Joyce and the interest she took in Shelley and the other kids, Shelley would not be in New Orleans today. You've got to have somebody that can motivate children. You got to have somebody that can lift them. And once you get that, then you come telling me we have created a job. Why didn't you create a job for yourself? Well, Clara, this is the Clara Luper radio show. And if you don't like what I said, I can see y'all running down there telling the superintendent. Well, you tell him I said it, because I'm going to tell him to his face. And I'm inviting the superintendent and the deputy superintendent talking about segregated schools. Nothing is segregated, not even the notes on the piano. They are black and white. Clara Luper reporting here, and I'm talking to Janice. Janice, you're getting ready for this big celebration. I understand that you all had an old timers day at your church and you all wore old timey clothes. Tell me about that.
That was a very interesting day. We had a picnic on the church grounds the Saturday before. We wore our bonnets and aprons like they did in the 1800s, and we had our favorite food of barbecue and chicken and cake and potato salad. On Sunday,
You're
we
talking
had
about on a picnic ground. You
on
don't have no
picnic-
picnic ground at Tabernacle.
Yes, we do. We have our own picnic grounds, and if you haven't visited it, Clara, you should come over.
Well, I
and
wasn't
see.
invited to the picnic.
If you drive down 36th Street, you will see our very lovely picnic grounds. There are several acres, as a matter of fact. We have a picnic shelter, and we have tables and a baseball field. It's very
A
nice.
basketball hoop.
Oh, yeah, okay. But
Yeah,
go on,
we
finish
have that.
telling me about
And
your
then that
celebration.
on Sunday, we all dressed to the best of our abilities to styles of the last 100 years, and had a very interesting service. I guess the most appropriately dressed person that day was our pastor.
Oh, tell me
because-
about your pastor. How did he look?
Because he had on his spats and his tails, and it was
His tails?
It was just very fashionable for the preachers of the 1800s. But more important, we have had fun, and that's
Well, let me ask you.
important.
You remember what he had on? What did he preach about?
I knew you were
Since
going to.
you're-
I knew you were going to
I
ask
just
that,
wanna
and
know
I
that.
have to
Yeah.
decline with no comment.
Alice, were you there?
Well, unfortunately, Clara, I was out of town at the time, and I was not able to attend that service.
Well-
But had I attended, I would be able to tell you what my pastor preached about.
Here, Mrs. Janice, remember what he wrote. She doesn't remember his words. Reverend Meshach, I would really get her if I were you.
You probably will.
Okay, now let's go. Let's get serious now, because we want to make sure that 800 people are in that at that banquet.
Yes, for that evening, we have a featured performance by Miss Bashira Ahmad, who is Miss Black America 1996. She will give us a performance of celebration and praise, and we look forward to that. But we will also have, as I said before, several awards that will be given to the members of our church. We'll have music provided by Benita Franklin and Charles Albritton.
That's Miss Black, Oklahoma City at one time. You
Yes,
saw
she
my girls.
was.
Okay.
Yes.
And what else? She
And
is so talented.
She really is a beautiful young lady. We also will have music by Mr. Isaac Kimbrough.
Oh, Isaac. Oh,
Yes.
gracious.
And you know, Isaac Kimbrough, the family are longtime members of Tabernacle. There are 4 generations of Kimbrough in the church.
Oh, yes.
Mrs. Loretta Green, who is a very beautiful soloist, will provide music for
Oh,
us.
she did a show for me on radio.
Yes. And we promise good food, good fellowship, and good fun. And we just want everybody to just come out and just enjoy the evening with us. And also, Clara, on that Sunday afternoon, we will have our centennial service at 3:30 in the afternoon. The preacher for the hour will be the Reverend Manuel Scott from Dallas, Texas.
Reverend Manuel Scott.
Yes, ma'am. He will be preaching for the hour. So we have for that weekend just a glorious celebration. It will be the highlight of the year. But there will be some other activities, and September, we will feature our Deacon and Deaconess program. And last year, the audience might be interested in knowing that you were our speaker for that program.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
And
You
we
all have
just so
honored me
enjoyed
so.
having you. And we will have our homecoming celebration in November, and in October we have our pastor's appreciation, and all those will be geared around the centennial year.
I enjoyed your Women's Day this year. And how did y'all do it? All those past women you had marching in, that was just so beautiful.
And just so that we can remember where we've been and what we've done for Women's Day in the past. Women's Day traditionally, and Men's Day, of course, and Men's Day will be this Sunday, tomorrow. But Women's Day and Men's Day are fundraisers, but more importantly, they help to build fellowship in the church. And we have various activities that are centered around bringing the church members together in fellowship.
I don't mean to be personal, but I know you all did extremely well financially. You raised over, what, $18,000 for
Yes,
your
we
Women's
did.
Day?
Yes, we did.
Okay, well, last year Fifth Street raised $23,000.
Oh, my.
I'm really proud
So
of that. So
We're
proud.
very proud of you.
We're proud. Now you're giving us a challenge.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I'm giving
We-
you a
we're-
challenge.
you've given
But
us a
There
challenge to
won't have
take
to be
back-
no challenge this year
Yeah.
because I'm not the captain this year.
The,
Uh,
the
we are-
that was a preliminary report, by the way.
Oh,
The
yeah, it was a
18th,
preliminary.
yes.
When you finish, well, ours was just a preliminary report. I don't know. Today, though, is a very important day, and I know I'm keeping you too long, but could I keep you just 5 more minutes, please, Janice? Please.
All right.
Okay, Steve? Okay, we're getting ready for Steve Brown. It's on the line. Steve?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Steve Brown, and I'm around with the sports news. It's that time again. The NFL season is just around the corner. Last night, the St. Louis Rams defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 17-10. Also, the Detroit Lions rolled past Washington 34-25. Bad news for the Dallas Cowboys. Defensive end Shante Carver is expected to miss the year for violating the NFL's substance abuse policy. As you know, Michael Irvin will be serving a 5-game suspension due to his run-ins with drugs. And Emmitt Smith left practice early Friday afternoon after suffering a sprained knee, but his trainer said the injury is not serious. Despite all the confusion in the Dallas camp, look for them to still be the top team in the NFL this season. This is Steve Brown saying, see you at the next game. Remember, this is Steve Brown on the Clara Luper radio show, and I will be around.
Thank you, Steve. Don't forget tomorrow, it's Men's Day at Tabernacle Baptist Church. The Capitol Car Wash is now open. And they are having a grand opening. It's on 24th and Martin Luther King. Mr. Raymond Red, your friend, will be there to serve you. Now, once again, whatever you want, I want you to go there and tell them you heard it on the Clara Luper radio show. That's the Capitol Car Wash. Mr. Raymond Red. Go there and get your car detailed. Not only detailed, you get it washed inside and out. Whatever you need, don't worry. Go to Capitol Car Wash. Come on and say it with me. I'm going to Capitol Car Wash. 24th and Martin Luther King. Now for your closing words, Miss Janice Scott.
Thank you again. It has been a pleasure that you have allowed us to do this on the Clara Luper Show. We invite our public, the whole city, to come out and celebrate our centennial banquet with good food, good fellowship, good music, good program. The tickets again are $25 per person. We'll be in the beautiful Cowboy Hall of Fame. Plenty of parking. The doors will open at 6:30. Our program will begin promptly at 7 o'clock, and we hope we'll be home or leaving the hall at least by 9:30. If you are interested in purchasing a ticket, 2 tickets, 2 tables, whatever, they are available, and information about them can be gotten by calling 427-9506.
It's all yours, Alice.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Luper. We are very happy to have been here this morning, and I would just reiterate what Janice has said. We just would like you to come out and share this wonderful event with us. And for you, Clara, we have something special for you. we want you to accept 2 complimentary tickets from us to attend our banquet. And we hope to see you there on August the 23rd at 7 o'clock p.m. Thank you again.
I would like to thank, really, I'm serious. I would like to thank Reverend Meshach, the deacons, the deaconesses, the officers, the women of the Tabernacle Baptist Church. You've always been with me. You've always given me respect, and you have always kept me informed as to what is happening. I would like to thank you. Not only that, I want to thank you for what you're doing for my little nephews, Ken, Jeremy Jr., and Quentin. They love it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you. And don't forget that Clara Luper's dinner is on the 24th of August. We are beginning the Freedom Fiesta Week, celebrating the beginning of the sit-in movement. We will start on Sunday with Mrs. Bosie Walker's Day. On Monday, Mrs. Gloria Matthews. On Tuesday, Mrs. Leola Ford and Miss Wilma Ray. On Wednesday, the President's Day with all of the kids. And on Thursday, that big Letty Ruth Hunter, Lillian Oliver, and Nancy Davis's fashion show. Don't forget and don't miss it. And don't you forget to go to the Capitol Car Wash, see Raymond, and tell him you heard it on the Clara Luper radio show. I would like to thank you once again for being my very distinguished guest today. The balance of this program is going to be dedicated to Shelley Luper. I told you that Shelley had gotten a job in Oklahoma City, and you know she had a outstanding job in Janice, I forgot to tell you and Alice something before you left, and I want you to know, Janice and Alice, I want you to come back for just 1 minute because they talking about giving me complimentary tickets. I've already made arrangements to buy my tickets. They are so sweet, though. Well, I think we all should buy tickets to that banquet. Let's show that Oklahoma City is a big city. It's not a city that's surrounded by a lot of little people that's jealous of various things and various officials. It's a big city, and let's make it big. Once again, on Thursday, the Letty Ruth Hunter fashion show, and on Saturday, don't forget the Clara Luper dinner. You can get your tickets, $25, $50, and $100. Now we are going to talk about Shelley. I told you about Shelley, and I know you are happy because you are part of Shelley's growth and development. Shelley proved her leadership in elementary school. She attended Brittany Elementary, and then she went on to to Nichols Hills, and then from Nichols Hills she went to Longfellow, and from Longfellow she went to Jefferson, where she became a leader there. She participated in the history fair and won for the first time for Jefferson Middle School an opportunity to win state in the history fair and to go on to the national in Washington, D.C. That was a great experience. I shall never forget that because Shelley's history teacher that happened to be white said, Miss Luper, Shelley would be the only black person on the bus. How do you think she will adjust? And I say, Shelley was adjusted the day she was born because in our family we do not discriminate against anybody. At Northeast High School in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, under the leadership of Miss Joyce Henderson, Shelley graduated in the top 10% of her class. She was president of the junior class and the senior class. She was a member of the National Honor Society, the head varsity cheerleader, the editor of the senior bulletin. She went to Langston University, where she also became a leader. She became Miss Langston University, and she became a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority and the Bacillus of her sorority. She won the Leadership Fellows Award, the National Thurgood Marshall Award, the Omega Psi Phi Award, the KOCO TV Oklahoma City Junior League Award, 5 Kids Who Care, and she went to Girls State where she won the Oklahoma Girls State Outstanding Citizen Award. She has been active in the NACP all of her life. She has attended all NACP. She's 23 now, so she has attended 22 NACP conventions. She was on the NAC. She was president of the Oklahoma City branch NACP, the state president of the NACP, the regional chairman of the NACP that include people from Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. She became a member of the National Youth Work Committee, which meant that she helped to plan programs for the youth of NACP National. She was a member of the Black Media Association, the Journalism Club, the Sigma Delta Xi, Langston's Big Sister program, and I could go on and on. But I must tell you that Shelley, and I would like to read this to you so you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. NACP youngest board member. Shelley Luper became the youngest board member in the United States, and that's on the National Board of Directors, where the people at the National Convention had to elect her. And Shelley got support not only from her home people, but from people all over the United States. She was elected and she defeated the well-known C. Dolores Tucker, graduate of Langston University. Now let me tell you, at Langston University, she had the opportunity to participate in Miss Oklahoma, and she participated in every pageant that she could. And she told me that someday she's going to write a book on how to lose pageants and how to win pageants. Shelley also won the National Hall of Fame pageant, and that was someday. I'm reading an article now. It says, congratulations to Shelley Luper, Miss Langston University, winner of the coveted Miss National Black College Alumni Hall of Fame crown. She also won the Thurgood Marshall $5,000 scholarship, and I could go on and on. But you saw on national television where she became the first runner-up in the African American Collegiate thing. I told you all of that about Shelley.
Mom,
And let me tell you about her experience. Now, Shelley, this job, and I do hope Merlin will call me
Mom, I'm listening to you
immediately.
before you say all that. But you're showing Shelley's involvement in activities over the years and how it has led to where she's presently
where she is today. That's
right?
what I'm showing, because
Okay.
she has been in everything. She's in program in a church. She has been in things whether she liked it or not, and she had to be in things because that's our life. Our life is a life of involvement, because you don't know where one thing will lead or how it would lead to another thing. So she was in various things, and I'm expecting Merlin to call me because I want Merlin to tell about the job, since Merlin was the one that told her about the job.
What I like about Shelley, though, is their involvement there with the Proline Corporation and how she was given a blank space and an opportunity to go in there and to really be productive in their public relations and their advertising department, and the steps that she's taken to make that department more viable and more visible within the Proline Corporation. And we had an opportunity to see that at the NACP convention, and where each delegate, each bag that was given to each person that registered for the convention had Proline products
over
in it.
20,000
And
products.
And that sounds like an easy task to do and to coordinate, but from experience we know how difficult that is. And those of you out there who have stuffed bags for conventions or meetings at your different churches or at your homes, you know that can be a tremendous task. But thanks to their experience that Shelley gained through the NACP involvement, through her sorority involvement, through the help that she got in Oklahoma City Public Schools and at Langston University.
And through her involvement with
and
the Zeta Phi
involvement-
Beta sorority and having a Zeta mother and a Zeta sister.
and her church
that really
activities
helped,
and the
yes.
Omega brother and all that.
And
But
everybody helping her.
she's kind of knew which direction that she could lead things in, and that's what has happened.
But one thing we can say about her, she sure
can
wasn't
brag on
self-made.
We can
She
brag
was
on her
made
today.
because of you. And one thing, you remember when she was crowned out to Langston, Mrs. Gloria Matthews was there, and we got ready to take pictures, letters, and all. She said, they're going to have to come up here and take pictures with me. And Mrs. Connie Bird, Mr. and Mrs. Thomas Bird, and look back there and see they were there, Anna Slaughter, all of them. Yes, Shelley was not self-made. Shelley was made because of you, and I would like to thank you. And I would like to make sure that Marilyn tells you what's happening to Shelley now. I told you that she spoke at the Urban League convention last night. She's at the Urban League convention today, and she just told me this morning that she will have the opportunity to meet with the president of the Urban League. But Shelley is coming to Oklahoma City in a job that I am very, very proud of. Is Marilyn there? Okay. Marilyn.
Yes. How are you doing this beautiful Saturday morning?
Marilyn, I am really proud of Shelley, and I have dedicated this part of my program to talking about Shelley, because I know Shelley has a new job that's coming up, that's out of sight, and I know she wouldn't have gotten it had she not had the qualifications. And I want you to tell me about first what you were in Boston when you heard about this job, right?
Yes, I was. Yeah, I was in Boston, attending All States Conference of Champions, and when I was approached about finding the best qualified candidate in the state of Oklahoma that I found.
Okay, you were looking for someone that had a degree, right?
Yes, yes. I was looking for someone who had a degree, someone who had experience in dealing with the community, someone who could relate to people from all walks of life, someone that was not hung up on themselves. I was looking for someone that a major company could identify with and go places with.
And could stand and speak for them. And you know, Shelley had an opportunity for the past 17 months, she's been traveling and speaking for Proline.
Oh, of course, of course. And this weekend, Shelley's speaking down to the Urban League Convention.
I've just told him that, Marilyn.
Oh, okay.
And she also has, you were looking for somebody that had some experience in sales?
Mm-hmm.
And you remember how Shelley sold pencils and pens and
well,
sandwiches
the
and dinners?
Youth Council gives you an opportunity to learn how to sell a lot of things because we had to get the building built, we had to get the blocks placed upon the wall. So we start out as meager as it might seem to many people, but we get our selling experience really young because it's a job that we learned that we have to do. And the only way that you can do this job that when you start out as a kid is through determination.
Well, Shelley has on her, I have her resume here. She talked about her experience in selling jewelry and selling knives and forks, and how she traveled to promote her business and how she had the opportunity to sell catfish and gumbo. Okay, come on, tell me about Shelley's job.
Shelley, coming to Oklahoma City, and will be an employee of Allstate Insurance Company where she will start out as a management trainee.
What does that mean?
That means that she will be a manager, training to be a manager in Allstate. She will train right here in Oklahoma City. After training here, and initially she will be working directly out of my office at 730 West Britain Road. From there, she goes to Denver, Colorado, and to go to the second phase of her training program. And then, who knows? She has opportunities undreamed of that we never heard about when I started out with the company. And we have it's just unbelievable about the opportunities that are presently available to us.
All right, now to get the job, I understand that she had to be interviewed by, tell me about her interviews.
Oh, she has to be interviewed by several different levels of management. And also, not only interview, but you don't get anywhere unless you take a special sealed test.
I don't understand anything about a sealed test.
That means that you have to have a test out to make sure that you can go to the next level of interviewing. And Shelley did extremely well with that.
I've been informed she made one of the top scores they've ever had on that test.
Hey, of course. I
Okay.
mean, what would you expect?
And then she had to be interviewed by, name some of the officials that interviewed her for this job.
I really can't go into
Okay,
all
that's
that
not
right
my
now.
business. I can understand
But
that.
I want you to know that she has had to go through a battery of interviews, flying to various parts of the country in order to continue the interviewing process. But I tell you this, Allstate is a very fortunate company to have a young lady by the name of Shelley. And I'm really proud of Shelley, not only because she's my sister, but because of the fact that we have an opportunity, those of us that are in major industry. It's not important that we're there, but I think the most important thing is what you taught me years ago, that we have an opportunity to bring people with us, to go places that you've never been. And when these job opportunities come, we look around. We have young people that are qualified. And I just want to thank God that not only Shelley, but we've been able to get other young people into this company with their qualifications and but I'm excited. I am excited about Shelley coming to Oklahoma City, about Shelley working directly out of my office starting on the 15th of this month. She'll be back in Oklahoma City. Not only that, Langston University graduate, and it's just like a legacy come true.
Okay, now, if she's trained to be a manager, that means that she might become your boss.
Oh, unfortunately, you're absolutely correct. But that's
Well, you were excited when you brought Harold Ford in and some of the other people that you brought into
Well,
our state.
I am so happy because we have been able to, the more we bring in, the merrier we are. And I recommended Harold years ago, and Harold has done an exceptional job since he's been with Allstate.
Okay, so Shelley's coming back as management trainee, and she will go through this training right here in Oklahoma City.
And I want to tell you this. Ron Carbon, who's a graduate in 1964 Douglas graduate, is now one of the vice presidents of Allstate. Allstate is one of the few companies in America that most of their major key positions are held by minorities. And I am just thrilled to death because the opportunities are definitely unlimited. My choice was to stay here in Oklahoma City, and I did that, and I enjoy what I do. But the opportunities nationwide are unbelievable. And I'm just proud of these young people that have the opportunity to get in on the grass floor and go places that I never even dreamed of were possible within the company.
Well, I know Lola Gree and Freddie Stevens and all of that gang will be awfully happy to hear about Shelley.
Well, I know I am, and I'm happy. I am really thrilled to death. You know, I had talked to Leonard Benton and other people in the community trying to find someone to fill this various position. And I am really happy that sometimes you can look around and you can't see the forest for the trees. But I think that we have one of the greatest representatives that will be going into management for our company, Allstate Insurance Company. And I would like to make a plea. Shelley's going to need your help. Shelley needs your help.
And Shelley's always had the help of this community.
She's always had the help. But she's going to have to, whenever, everything's a challenge. Everything is a challenge, and I learned that years ago. And we always have to be better than normal, but we have stood up to the challenges that face us. Sometimes we've had our faces in the ground, and we still had to go. And we have continued to do it. And I would like to beg this community. You've always helped these young people, but
see, these young people have to help themselves because they're going to have to stay in school. They're going to have to learn. They're going to have to learn how to pass tests. And even though you make an A, if you can't talk, you're in trouble.
Oh, you're absolutely correct.
And then you're also going to have to learn how to be involved with other people, and I think that's been a tremendous asset, don't you think, Merlin?
Oh, of course.
And
you're going to have to learn how to relate,
Right.
Calvin. No matter, you can learn something from the least of us, and you cannot never look at a person to determine their value. Yes, you're going to have to learn a lot.
Merle, what did Allstate say when about the NACP involvement? A lot of people don't want their children working with NACP because they think that'll hurt them. What did Allstate think about that?
That's the dumbest thing I've heard anyone say, because major corporations have seen the importance of the NACP. And right now, there's a sistership program between the NACP and Allstate Insurance Company where they want someone that can represent us in all levels of the community. Because when one person spends $1 with this company, they're as important as anyone else.
Okay, well,
Thank you, Merle.
we know that 730 West
Shelley,
Britain Road.
Calvin, you haven't told us how you feel. Now, I've been talking
Mom,
about
you know,
Shelley.
I've been tremendously excited. I've been sitting over there listening, but I know that 730 West Britain Road will never be the same because we have some exciting things planned, but not only because of Shelley, but because we want to give a better service and improve our service to the community. Isn't that right, Merlin?
Of course, and I had to keep my foot in my brother's back because he's not where I want him to be, but he's getting there.
Well, Merlin, you know, we change feet position all the time.
Well, anyway, y'all go to the Capitol Car Wash at 24th and Martin Luther King and get your car washed. Now, this is a grand opening. I want you to go there. They will detail your car. They will wash it inside and out. And Raymond, Raymond Red with his handsome self will be there to greet you.
And it's located right in the heart of the east side, right there at 24th and Martin Luther King Avenue. You'll be extremely proud of that new facility, and we're all going to be proud of the type work that they do there, and we're extremely proud of the building and how good it looks and how it adds to the community.
Well, may I say one other thing before I hang up?
Yes.
You can get rid of me. We're going to have a special open house at 730 West Britain Road, where you have an opportunity to meet and greet Shelley as part of our new family here at Allstate Insurance Company.
Well, Miss Gloria Masters has stated what she's going to do to Shelley. We've gotten a call from Langston University. They are going to be giving a reception from Shelley. And I don't know what will happen, but I do know one thing. It's time for me to say goodbye. And let me
Mom,
tell
don't
you
say
something.
goodbye.
Don't
Yeah.
say
I've got to
goodbye.
say goodbye.
Don't say goodbye.
I
Yeah.
want to say happy birthday, Shelley.
Happy birthday, Shelley. Thank you, Merlin. We look forward to working with you this week. And we want to invite everyone that 730 West Britain Road is the office location. You need to come by there and see what we can do to help improve and encourage your young people to be a part of the NACP and other things. But 730
next
West
week-
Britain
next
Road,
week
we
we
can
will
add your
have-
insurance.
Next week we will
want
have...
your business.
we want your
We
business.
want your business.
That's-
Next week we will have representatives from J.D. Sharp's office and some other things. In the meantime, none of you have told me exactly what laws Calvin Cox has passed. So let me know, because I thought the job of a legislator was to make laws and not to just play around with them. Clara Luper saying, whatever you do and wherever you go, remember one thing. I love you. Bye-bye.
The program you've just heard was a paid program. The views and opinions expressed and products endorsed are not necessarily those of KTLV, its staff, or management.
This is AM 1220, KTLV, Midwest City, Oklahoma City.